Coming to you from BLC Studios in Mankato, Minnesota, this is the Bethany Vikings podcast. Hosted by Brock Aker, Jake Anderson, and Gabe Stace. It's time to go inside Bethany Athletics.
Welcome back to another edition of the Bethany Vikings podcast. I'm Brock Aker, joined by Gabe Stace. Today is the first round of the Bethany Initials. We're getting represented by the volleyball team, the men's track and field, the men's baseball team, and the Bethany softball team. So we'll just do a quick intro before that. First thing, Gabe, you got some records that were broken for the track and field team this week as they're in St. Louis and Morris?
Yeah, absolutely. 2 records broken at Washington University in St. Louis. Both were previously held by Megan Sauer. So sorry to Megan, graduated from 2017. But Jordan Merwin won the broke the school record in the 5K with a time of 19:29. Kayla Tobin broke the school record in the 10K with a time of 39 minutes and 17 seconds.
For tennis went 1-1 over the weekend. They lost 5-4. The men's tennis did against Northwestern. We never won a point last year. So just one point away from winning the game, and a couple of them went to a third set. So the Vikings men's tennis team, again, impressing and playing competitive. And then they swept Morris 9-0. They call that a bagel.
Do they?
9-0. When you go 9-0, it's called a bagel. That's what they say in the showbiz of tennis.
You learn something new every day, and I think our men's tennis team is a real threat in the UMAC.
Yeah, Carlos French, Marcos, they're young too, so they're going to break a lot of records here. I told you when he was on the episode a couple weeks ago, there hasn't been a men's tennis team that ever finished over 500 since the stats on the Bethany website came out. So that'll be interesting to watch. How about the softball? You worked the game yesterday, Gabe. How did they do this weekend? I think you have a Women's Player of the Week, the Vikings Women's Player of the Week to talk about as well.
Yeah, should we announce her right now?
Yeah, why not?
Well, let's do it. Zoe Knacken is our Viking Athlete Women's Player of the Week. She's got 4 straight 3-hit games right now, 7 RBI in the past 4 games. I mean, she's dominating almost every plate appearance, hitting that in that 2 spot in the lineup. Really good table setter, driving in runs, scoring runs, everything that you could want from that.
Yeah, and they swept Northland and Morris, so they're undefeated to begin UMAC play. And on the season now, 14-9, already 23 games played by the Vikings. So the softball getting after it right away, and looks like another successful season. And hopefully maybe we're hosting softball the UMAC tournament down the stretch, but a long way to go.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're right. It sure looks like we can do that because the team overall is just really strong across the board. You got an excellent mix of youth and experience on the roster. Obviously, Kayla Senna and Alyssa Costa is, probably, I think, the best 1-2 pitching punch in the UMAC. And then the heart of the order, when you talk about Knacken, Mork, Eden Ambrose, and Haley Stockman, does it get any better than that?
At leadoff, Caitlin Halbach, it gets better than that because she's going to be on the Bethany Initials here in just moments. How about for Bethany Baseball? They're going to be representing the Initials as well as Matt Verdugo is going to be on it, and he had a pretty big weekend as well.
Yeah, that's right. Tied a school record with 3 doubles and 5 hits in a single game. He is also our Bethany Athlete of the Week on the men's side. But a couple big performances from him coming in the DH spot. Liam Peterson, he also continues to mash, and he was on the show a couple of weeks ago. Yes,
Verdugo is DHing all year. He tore his UCL and had Tommy John surgery, so he's kind of like Shohei Ohtani 2 years ago, where he can't really throw, but he's able to hit. And boys, he only had 1 double going into the weekend, and then he got 3 doubles in that one game. And he will be on the Bethany Initials here. Just to wrap it up, a bow on the baseball. They went 3-1, 2-1 against Morris, and won their 9-inning game against MLC. And now they are 7-8 on the season, and they'll get University of Wisconsin Superior this weekend on the road.
Should be a good conference test as they continue in UMAC play. Looking forward, Brody Curtis, he's had a couple good performances so far on the mound. Do you feel like this team maybe needs another pitching arm to step up?
I think the pitching is a little bit, we kind of thought maybe it was going to be more of a pitcher's duel when it was Curtis versus Maminga, their ace, and it ended up being 11-9, and the next game was 10-9. So it was kind of cold as well this weekend, so the pitching wasn't the greatest. I thought Kraling did pretty good when it was 2-2. Fierstead did what you expected, pitched 6 solid innings, right? 5-6 solid innings. And then Kraling, who hasn't really played a lot, but he's a fifth-year senior. He kept the Morris off the board, and then the Vikings got that 7-run inning. So they're going to need some of those guys to step up because they lost Nesson, Matt Wood. They do have some shoes to fill, so I think we're going to see more roles play out. I think Craig is trying a lot of different arms, and then once we get about halfway into the UMAC season, I think we're going to see more consistently who our relievers and starters are going to be.
Yeah, and one of the guys to keep an eye on for me, Raimundo Heredias Jr., freshman coming out of the pen, the lefty. He's looked really good so far.
Yeah, he's got fastball, 4-seam, 2-seam, changeup, curveball. He did a good job keeping the Vikings in it that Saturday night game. There was some questionable umpiring, but the Vikings still stayed into that game because of him, like you said, coming in relief, and he was huge. All right, let's preview the Bethany initials now here. We're talking about baseball. Matt Verdugo is going to represent them. He's a junior from Arvada, Colorado. So he's going to be the Bethany baseball representative. Amia Broughton for volleyball. She is a backline volleyball player. She's a junior from Waseca, Minnesota. Caitlin Hallbeck, the leadoff batter, outfielder for the Bethany softball team. She's a junior from Osage, Iowa. And she transferred from Wartburg 2 years ago. And then Trace Edmondson, the sophomore from LeSueur, Minnesota. He does track and cross country. He'll be the representative for both of those teams because they're kind of intertwined a lot with Bethany here between the track and field cross country. So we're taking one men from each and women from each side. But those are your representatives for this week's Bethany Vikings players' initials, and we'll send you right there right now.
Welcome to the 2022 Bethany initials. We're coming back. We haven't done it since 2020, but we're bringing it back this year with different people, a person representing each team here at Bethany Lutheran College. And starting off today, we were represented by softball, volleyball, men's track and field, and baseball. Representing softball is Caitlin Hallbeck. How are you doing today, Caitlin?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing great. How's the softball going? I know you guys had to move up and play your game yesterday, but that helped out so you could join us here today.
Yeah, it was good. We won both.
So good start to the UMAC for the softball team. Amia Broughton, she's representing the volleyball team. How are you doing today, Amia?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm excited to get these things started. I know that girls 2 years ago, they didn't win a match. Hopefully it will change that way. It was Jakin Lingholm and Keegan Rich took it home. So no pressure on you two, but we'll see what happens. Representing the men's track and field, the winner of this round 2 years ago was Keegan Rich, who represented them. It's Trace Edmondson. Do you feel the pressure today, Trace?
Not really. I wasn't here last time they did it, so I don't know the pressure.
You in your dorm room right now?
I am.
All right, that's where you get all your best thoughts?
Yep.
All right. Well, that's Trace Edmondson. And then finally, it's Matt Verdugo, who just tied a record with 5 hits and 3 doubles Saturday. How are you doing today, Matt?
Absolutely fantastic.
How's the baseball going here after playing it? Softball, too. You guys are playing in like 40-degree weather with some sleet. You're from Colorado. Is that the same weather? I see the flag there as it is here in Minnesota.
Yeah, so this past weekend was probably one of the more brutal games I've ever played in. The wind wasn't that bad, though, but it was pretty brutal. Definitely being a DH went back into the clubhouse a lot.
Yeah, I'm sure that was helpful to get in the heater from there. Well, we'll get this thing started. To reiterate to our fans, the rules here of the Bethany initials, it's coming from the Power Trip Morning Show. Corey Cove created it. So the rules are contestants are given clues to 12 items, which can be people, places, things, etc. Each item has the same set of initials. Contestants are given up to 6 clues for each item. The first person to ring in with their name is allowed up to 5 seconds to answer, and they can ring in at any time during the progression of clues. If they are correct, they get 1 point. If they are incorrect, the clues continue and other players are allowed to ring in. The winner of the initials game is whoever gets the most points. If there's a tie, a 3-clue tiebreaker is used with the tied contestants. The tiebreakers will also have the same initials as the original 12 items. I don't know if I mentioned this before we recorded here, but no phones unless you're using that to record your Zoom to make sure there's no cheating. Don't use any of your friends. If you have any friends in your class, in your rooms or anything, don't do that. I think Allison Lauer, the girls' golf player, a couple years ago did that. So that's the honor code right there. The initials today, dun dun dun, JC. J like Jerry, C like cupcake. C like cupcake. Thank you, Gabe. Gabe is on here as well to keep score and try to listen in to see if there is a tie of someone saying their name so we get the correct person. Are you guys all ready? You guys can unmute if you want, just so you, if you want to say your name right away so you don't have to click a button. But here is the first clue. Item number 1 was born in Newmarket, Canada. Clue number 2, quit school at 15 and became a janitor. Clue number 3, sent letters to Tupac Shakur while Tupac was in prison. Clue number 4, he voiced an elephant. Clue number 5, he and Sonic aren't best friends. All right, the last clue. Clue number 6, played Lloyd in Dumb and Dumber.
Caitlin.
All right,
Jim
Caitlin,
Carrey.
Jim Carrey is correct. Bethany's softball is on the board first with 1 point. We'll go on to item number 2. Again, all these are JC. Item number 2, clue number 1. There are 2,894 of these in the United States. Clue number 2. The first one of these opened in 1901. Clue number 3. This was a part of Aaron Rodgers, Alvin Kamara, and Cam Newton's journey. Clue number 4. The first word can also be called community. Clue number 5. It lasts 2 years. All right, last clue for item number 2, clue number 6. Bethany used to be one of these types of schools.
Caitlin.
I got Matt. Yeah, Matt, you said your name first. What is it?
Junior college?
Junior college is correct. And Matt and Caitlin now are tied with 1 point. Trace and Amia still looking to get on the board. All right, item number 3, clue number 1. Used to be known as the prototype. Clue number 2. Played center for the Springfield College football team. Clue number 3. Released his debut album, You Can't See Me, in 2005. I'll say that one more time because I kind of slipped up on it. Released his debut. Matt said it. All right, Matt, what do you got?
John Cena?
John Cena is correct. And Matt, back-to-back points. He leads it now 2-1. They can't see. You guys got to tune into the YouTube to see Matt's antics right there with the You Can't See Me. All right, going on to item number 4, 2-1. Again, Matt is leading Caitlin, Trace, and Amia still looking to score their first point here. See you with item number 4. Clue number 1, net worth of $400 million. Clue number 2, has appeared in over 200 films. Clue number 3, best friends with Sylvester Stallone? Clue number 4. Won the honorary Oscar in 2016. Clue number 5. Born in Hong Kong.
Caitlin.
Caitlin.
Jackie Chan.
Jackie Chan is correct. And we're back tied 2 apiece between Verdugo and Caitlin. I gotta get a drink of water. I forgot how much I talked. Like all in a couple seconds here. Clear the throat right now. So the softball, it's team softball versus team baseball right now. Track and field and volleyball. Trying to get on this. Let's see if item number 5 does it right here. Item number 5, clue number 1. Born October 1st, 1924. Clue number 2. Was accidentally declared dead by Fox News. Clue number 3. He goes by a different first name than he was born with.
Amia.
Amia.
Is it Jimmy Carter?
Jimmy Carter is correct. And volleyball is on the board. Amia was very happy with that one. I can see the emotion. All right, that's great. Get this competitive. It's okay to smack talk to you guys. All right, item number 6, we got Verdugo and Caitlin tied at 2, Amia at 1, and Trey still looking to get on the board. All right, item number 6, clue number 1. Drafted in the 15th round of the MLB draft. Clue number 2. Accidentally shot himself in the hand in 2014. Clue number 3.
Matthew.
All right.
Jose
Go ahead.
Canseco.
Yeah, Jose Canseco is correct.
I would have been really upset if I didn't get that one.
Do you know what you follow his career? Or what?
Oh,
I know
love
you're a
Jose.
baseball guy. But...
Follow his Twitter. He just says some controversial stuff all the time.
Yeah, he says a lot of stuff. I see it. Reading the comments from them was just amazing. All right. So 3, right? Gabe, you're keeping score. It's 3 Verdugo, 2 Caitlin, 1 Amia, and Trey's still trying to get on the board. Trey, there's still 6 left. So you're right in this thing, man. All right. Item number 7, clue number 1. Born in Kingsland, Arkansas. Clue number 2. Died September 12th, 2003. Clue number 3. Was an ordained minister.
Amia.
All right, Amia.
Johnny Cash.
Johnny Cash is correct. And Amia now has 2 points. Caitlin with 2 points. Verdugo with 3. 5 items to go. All right, item number 8, clue number 1. Born in Frankfurt, West Germany. Clue number 2. Graduated from Terry Sanford High School with a 4.2 GPA. Clue number 3. Former pro basketball player. Clue number 4. Has over 14.1 million followers on Twitter. Clue number 5. Jay-Z helped kickstart his career. Clue number 6. one Grammy for Best Rap Song called A Lot?
Trace.
All right, Trace. Can you get on the goal board right here?
I'm gonna guess J. Cole.
J. Cole is correct. And Trace is on the board. No one's getting skunked on today. And Trace, you thought you were going to be bad at this, man. You're on the board. You're still right in this. How much does Verdugo have? 3? And he's in the lead, right? And it's Caitlin with 2, Amia with 2, Trace with 1 point. It's so nice to have someone that keeps score right here. All right. We'll go to item number 9. And if my math, there's 4 items left. So still anyone's game. Clue number 1 for item number 9. Represented the Dominican Republic. Clue number 2. Connected to a rose, cat, monk, and fox. Clue number 3. Recently lost to Cinderella. Clue number 4. In 2019, he agreed to a lifetime contract in the Bluegrass State. Clue number 5. He has been to 4 Final Fours. Clue number 6. His 810 wins is 10th most in men's NCAA basketball history. All right, I'll count down here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It was John Calipari, head basketball coach for Kentucky. No one knew. All right. That was a bad one, I guess, Gabe. Throw out John Calipari. What was that, Matt?
Need a basketball player on here to get that one.
Yeah, Hunter Nielsen was thinking of joining here today, but he had something come up. So he'll be on another week's episode. I think he definitely would have gotten that. But hey, no one gets a point, so everyone's still in it. We got 3 left. Anyone's game still. Item number 10, clue number 1, born on Halloween. Clue number 2, died in 1994 at the age of 43. Clue number 3, played an uncle. Clue number 4, the coach in Cool Runnings.
Amia.
All right, Amia.
John Candy.
John Candy is correct. And Mia has tied Verdugo at 3. Meaning, Trace, you got to get these next 2 to tie Amia and Verdugo. Caitlin, you're right there, just 1 behind. And Amia and Verdugo tied at 3 with 2 items to go. All right, item number 11, clue number 1, connected to the Ides of March. Clue number 2, movie is 95% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Amia.
All right, Amia.
Julius Caesar.
Julius Caesar is correct. And Amia and the volleyball team here coming back. So Amia is up 4-3 versus Verdugo with 1 to go. So Caitlin and Trace, you're out of it. However, you can ring in and help Amia beat Verdugo. So if you 2 get it right, so anyone can answer still.
Help me?
No, you're playing from behind Verdugo. You got to come up here. It's the top of the 9th inning. You got to run in scoring position. It's up to you here to get the base hit and tie it up and force extra innings.
It's all right. I don't need help.
All right. The last item number 12, clue number 1. Subject of a song by Thomas D. Rice. Clue number 2. Enacted after the Civil War.
Matt,
Yeah, Matt, you go for it.
Jim Crow.
Jim Crow is correct.
Let's
In
go.
the first round of the Bethany Initials, we're going to a tiebreaker between Amia and Matt. So now Caitlin and Trace, you can't answer anymore. It's only down to Matt and Amia to answer. It's still the same set of initials. You'll get 3 clues. You can answer again anytime during the progression of the clues. And the first one to get the correct item goes on to the championship round in May. All right, tiebreaker item number 1, clue number 1. His wife died of ovarian cancer in 2001. Ovarian cancer, thank you, Gabe. Ovarian cancer in 2001. Clue number 2, has sold nearly 5 million albums. Clue number 3, his life was depicted in the movie I Still Believe, which released in 2020. I'll count down here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, so that one was Jeremy Camp. I don't know. Have any of you guys heard of Jeremy Camp?
Nope.
Only Gabe. All right. He's a Christian singer. He's the second, I think, highest of the decade for Christian singers in the decade of 2010. All right, we'll go to the second one of the tiebreaker. Still sudden death. Still the same set of initials. 3 clues here. First clue, clue number 1. The 11th pick in the 2006 NFL Draft. Clue number 2. Recently divorced Kristen Cavallari. Is that right? Kristen Cavallari?
Matt.
All right, Matt, what is it?
Jay Cutler.
Jay Cutler is correct. And Matt's going on to the championship round. What a comeback. How many lead changes was that here? We started with Caitlin, right? And then it was Verdugo, then Caitlin had it, then Verdugo, then Amia came up. A lot of lead changes. I appreciate you all joining and representing your teams. Everyone got on the board, and Matt will go on to the championship round here in May. We have 2 more rounds of the regulars first round to see who Matt goes on to take. Thanks again, everyone, for joining us.
Thank you.